Hey everybody, my name is Peter. I wanted to talk to you guys about my experiences I had with the Patterson Dodge and all of Patterson locations in Wichita Falls. I'm a disabled combat veteran. I served 2 tours in Iraq and Afghanistan, and pretty physically and messed up because of it. I'm in a wheelchair. I went to purchase a vehicle back in December. I purchased a Ram 2500 Power Wagon, and I've had nothing but nightmares through that dealership. It was, as soon as I got it, they drove it to my house. It came with all mud on the vehicle, so the next day I had to review the truck to make sure there's no faults with it. And I noticed a lot of issues, scratches, stickers were popping out, the step rails were messed up, and a few other things I noticed, and I had to drive it back to Wichita Falls to get it fixed. Well, it took me 3 different times to get all corrected, and not everything is still fixed. And wanted to tell you about that. It's just a nightmare. Recently, I've been having some issues with my spray and bed liner. It's been peeling and flaking off, and I use a crane in my back of my pickup, and I have my wheelchair right here, everybody can see. And lately it's just been flaking and peeling, and so I brought it up to their attention, and they told me just go pick a different manufacturer and dealer that's close to me, because I live in North Texas, and that's a little far from me. It takes me about 3 hours to get there. And so they told me to find a local dealer and a manufacturer that can, and they'd be willing to strip off the whole entire spray and bed liner and remove it with the one that I chose, which was Line-X. I decided to go with Line-X out of McKinney. I have great experiences with Line-X. They've done a great job over the years of owning numerous trucks. Never had an issue with Line-X. It's always had my handicap stuff in there and never had an issue. But I found out through Patterson Dodge that they purchase all of their trucks with a certain spray and bed liner called TOFF, T-O-F-F. Well, I hate to tell you this, their material is garbage, straight up garbage. It's flaking, it won't stick, and my wheelchair, for some reason, it's a heavy duty wheelchair and it's not able to withhold my wheelchair. And so that's why they were saying they were willing to get it done through a local dealer close by. Well, everything was good until I called them later on that evening. They, at that time I was very excited because over the many months that I've had my vehicle, I've had nothing but bad experiences. And so I didn't receive a call from nobody, so I contacted the dealership myself to let them know that, my selections and everything else. And then I find out, I tried to speak with Kevin. He's a manager located at the Patterson Dodge in Wichita Falls. He never returned my calls because he told me that he was going to get involved, and he never contacted me. Then I spoke to Brad. He's the GM there, and that was just the worst experience. He basically blamed my wheelchair for the faulty spray and bed liner, and I just I had a severe anxiety attack because of it, and I'm sorry. I have post-traumatic stress disorder like so many disabled veterans out there that have it, and sometimes I just don't handle people who attack me because of my disability. And when you sit there and you make a promise to me or a promise to any American out there, we expect you to stick with your promises, and that's one thing they didn't do. When I spoke to the Line-X dealer in McKinney, and they told me that when Patterson Dodge called them, that when they found out the price of the whole project, they said that it was not feasible for them, and so they decided to take their offer back when they promised me that offer. So involving them blaming my wheelchair and taking back that offer, which they verbally agreed upon, I had a severe anxiety attack. I had to have my nurse help me in gathering my thoughts and getting me calmed down. Ever since then, the owner, Paul and Harry, they've done nothing but wanting me to expedite this situation through the court system, because it seems like they love going to court. They have no plans on trying to rectify the issue. They just basically told me straight up that they're only willing to fix certain parts of the spray and bed liner, and that's not sufficient for me, because when you promise me something, I should take you by your word, and that's just how life should go. But when you sit there and change your promises, I'm not accepting that. And so I've been frustrated, and I've done everything I possibly can. I reached out to Harry, the owner, also, and Harry was telling me how he's a Vietnam vet. And just because you're a Vietnam vet don't mean that you care about veterans. I'm sorry, but he's in that situation right now. He's not like me. He doesn't have a small checking account like me. He's not like me. He's not in a wheelchair. But he's going to sit there and say because he fought in Vietnam that he respects us. He don't respect us. And I'm sorry to say that there are veterans out there that don't respect other veterans, because mainly jealousy, or because they're making money nowadays. They're making money, and us other disabled vets, we're limited. I'm limited. I can never make more than what I'm making now because I'm disabled. But Harry, he's making a good living because he owns dealerships, and he owns a bunch of them in Wichita, and Paul himself too. And so when they disrespected me, they have never came back to me and try to make things better. They won't reach out to me. They don't care the reviews that I submitted. And if you guys go on the Google reviews and Yelp and all the others, I've submitted bad reviews, and I have a legitimate reason. First, I don't like being blamed on because of their faulty, cheap spray and bed liners that they put in all their vehicles. So anybody that goes shops here, I hope and pray that you would boycott that dealership and all the other Patterson locations in Wichita Falls to support people like me who are disabled because of our service to this country. But just be aware that they don't put in Line-X or Rhino. They put in a cheap brand called Toff, and it doesn't hold up to what they say it's supposed to. And I'm having that problem now. And so I tried to call Harry, and he wants to take this all the way up, and he doesn't care about my experiences. He didn't even care. He didn't even want to take the time to listen to me. He said, I know about your situation, and I'm sticking with Paul. He didn't even care to listen to my side of the story or nothing like that. And the management are the same way. They're a bunch of liars. Like I said, I've had 3 different times I've had to take my vehicle there to get it fixed because of issues with purchasing it. And it's been nothing but a nightmare. And I want all you guys to be aware, if you're in the market to purchase a vehicle, please go to another dealership before you go to Patterson. Because, I'm in a situation right now where I have to wait until I get legal advice to help me with this situation. Nobody is there wanting to assist me, and I have a wheelchair in the back of my vehicle. I have a crane, and all I'm hitting is bare metal now. And they're not willing to, I refuse to accept their lower offer because they promised me the full removal of the spray and bed liner and one that I could choose. And they promised me that, and that's what I expect from them. But because they're a bunch of liars, please, if you are going to purchase from them, please be aware of my experiences and hope they don't do the same thing to you. But I pray and hope that all Americans who are listening to this and watching this will please take in consideration the experience I had and reconsider before you go with Patterson Dodge, because if you ever have to deal with their owners, they don't care about us. We're just a number to them. And I hope you guys would understand what I'm going through and take it in consideration when you purchase another vehicle through Texas and Wichita Falls. Possibly go to a different dealer and go with a better experience than what I had. No disabled veteran that's in a wheelchair or anybody should have to go through what I'm going through. And nobody should be disrespecting people like us who served our country honorably. And because of it, they want to blame the wheelchair. It's not the wheelchair. It's the products they pay to put in the spray and bed liners. They don't want to spend extra money. They want to cheat us out of money And that's how Harry and Paul become rich. So they want to cheat us out of a reasonable spray and bed liner, and they buy the cheapest material and they give us that, and that's how they make their money. And they're rich. They're not in our situation. They don't know what I'm going through. But Harry, he wants to say because he's a Vietnam vet, oh yeah, well I support military. You don't support military. Because if you did, you would at least listen to what I had to say. You would at least listen to how the disrespect that I had to listen to through your dealership and the anxiety attack that I suffered because of your management and ownership. You would have done something about it. But you don't care. You're making that money. You know what? It's a shame on you. Shame on you and shame on Paul for all you two people who could do something about this matter, but rather me continue bad reviews and everything else because you don't care. We're just a number to you. But you know what? I am somebody. You might not think I'm somebody, but I am somebody, and I want to make sure that I don't let this issue go unresolved. I'm going to do my best to keep this issue in play, and I'm going to make sure that everybody is aware of how fraudulent your dealerships are. You have numerous dealerships in Wichita Falls, and all you guys are a bunch of frauds. But thank you, Americans. Thank you guys for listening to me, and I appreciate it. I hope you take this in consideration, and God bless you guys. And if you're in the market for a vehicle, please really do your homework before you decide to purchase through Patterson. We just don't. This is something that a disabled vet should not have to go through, and I pray that no one else has to go through what I'm going through. Thank you all. Have a great day. Bye.